Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Educated Weirdo. This channel is designed to provide you with innovative information that empowers your intellect. So, please enjoy.
Many serial killers exhibit a series of warning signs in their early years. Bedwetting, fire setting, and animal torture are known as the McDonald Triad, after a series of studies conducted by psychiatrist J.M. McDonald in 1963. However, one by the name of John Wayne Gacy exhibited none of those behaviors, possibly shedding a little light on how he eluded authorities in plain sight for decades, by blending in. John Wayne Gacy, born in Chicago, Illinois, March 17, 1942. His father was John Stanley Gacy and his mother was Marion Elaine Robeson. His mother was a typical loving and encouraging individual. Sadly, his father wasn't so adequate. John Wayne Gacy, named after the famous actor John Wayne, was a peculiar young man. He preferred spending most of his free time with his mother and sister than his alcoholic alpha male father. Gacy was not a fan of manual labor, primarily due to an early diagnosed heart condition. Therefore, he wasn't fond of the masculine festivities his father desired for him to participate in. His father, who suffered from severe alcoholism, noticing his son's lack thereof, became extremely hostile toward John. John, wanting to please his father, attempted to participate in various masculine activities. However, these attempts were short-lived because his heart condition mixed with lack of desirability. John's father was very abusive, often using physical and verbal abuse as a means of communication and control. Gacy, secretly longing for his father's approval, endured the abuse. Gacy later went on record claiming he was once fondled by a female at the age of 5. Gacy claims he was fondled and assaulted yet again when he was 8 years old, this time by a contractor in his mid-30s who had struck up a casual friendship with Gacy's father. The contractor would take Gacy out for ice cream before demonstrating wrestling holds. Following a number of such incidents, young Gacy informed his father that he did not want to be alone with the contractor, and their contact was terminated. John, being a hurt and confused kid, couldn't decide if he wanted to identify as a young boy or as a young girl. They would later find women clothing in his closet. When asked why, he replied, "I wonder what I would look like as a woman." This mental, sexually confused duality would ultimately be the demise of Gacy. Rejected, abused, shamed by his father and suppressed homosexual urges mixed with a psychopathic personality disorder turned John into a monster hiding in plain sight. As an adult, friends dubbed John Wayne Gacy the Colonel because he was a married father of 2, an active member of the Jaycees charitable organization, and a highly paid manager of 3 Kentucky Fried Chicken (KFC) franchise outlets in 1967. Gacy, on the other hand, was dealing with taboo impulses, such as when he said he was aroused by the sight of a naked male corpse, and desires triggered by an alleged homosexual encounter with another adult Jaycees member, desires that Gacy focused on young boys. Gacy worked part-time as a clown. His stage name was Pogo the Clown, often working in hospital and working directly with young kids. Due to his lack of acceptance from his father at a young age and other personality disorders, Gacy went as far as converting his basement into a hangout where he provided alcohol and pornography in order to attract teenagers for sex. Donald Voorhees, 15, said Gacy got him drunk and then forced him to perform oral sex. Donald Voorhees told his father, a Jaycees friend of Gacy's, about what had happened to him in August 1968. Another 16-year-old victim went straight to the cops. Gacy was apprehended and charged with 1 count of sodomy. Gacy denied the claims immediately and then paid an 18-year-old employee to beat up Voorhees and tell him to stay out of court. When he was apprehended, Gacy admitted everything and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He served for 2 years, graduated from high school, and excelled as the facility's head cook. Gacy was then released in 1971 with time served and only 12 months of probation. During Gacy's time in prison, his father passed away. This was a turning point in Gacy's darkness. He blamed himself for his father's demise. He felt his dad died because he failed him as an honorable son, and ultimately led to be too much for his father to bear. In reality, this wasn't true. But regardless, it was the catalyst that sent Gacy on a serial killing spree. Gacy set his sights on becoming admired, accepted and wealthy. He ultimately would open a construction company yielding him $250,000 a year during the 70s, remodeling pharmacies. This would be equivalent to $1 million a year in modern-day times. Gacy was notorious for hiring younger boys at his establishment. Robert Piest, a 15-year-old Des Plaines High School sophomore, went missing on December 11, 1978, shortly after leaving work at a pharmacy where Gacy had recently completed a remodeling job. When it was discovered that two of Gacy's teenage employees, Gregory Godzik and John Butkovich, had also recently vanished, police obtained a search warrant for Gacy's home. During the subsequent search, a roll of film belonging to Piest was seized. A second search warrant was issued, and 3 bodies covered in lime were discovered in the crawl space. Gacy directed officers to the precise locations of specific bodies in the crawl space and claimed that he had enticed the victims to his home, either explicitly for sex or through the promise of sex. John Wayne Gacy would later be convicted of 33 murders of mostly teenage boys. He later confessed to reading biblical passages aloud to his 33 victims as he strangled them with a garrote. By this time, society was fed up with Gacy's dark ways, and on March 13, 1980, they sentenced him to death for his heinous crimes.
For more videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. I am the Educated Weirdo, and as always, much love and respect.